So what the heck am I trying to do here? So, for me, as regular viewers know, before I came here, I researched as best I could, and again, my research was not very successful. All it really did was give me the general confidence to go ahead and pursue this idea because so much information was incorrect, which is, again, regular viewers know why I made the channel in the first place. And then I was able to generally sort out how good Thailand is in a very 30,000 foot perspective, kind of way. And that's worked out well. Every bit of research said that Thailand was just the literal and figurative safest choice. It was not just your physical safety is really good here. It's incredible. I'm safer here than actually back home in Michigan, which is weird, but it seems to be quite true. But it's just such a safe bet, between the people being friendly, the people being generally very non-confrontational and non-violent. And there are exceptions, of course, which I talk about in some videos. And then the food being incredible. The weather, again, people complain about the heat, but again, Thailand has about 20 different micro-environments around the whole country, and you can find places that you'll be comfortable. Speaking of which, in a couple of days, Fawn and I are going to go to Pak Chong, and I'm going to attempt to explore a little more in depth. I've never done a video on Pak Chong. I'm always talking about how nice it is. The weather is great, and there's nice hotels there and really nice restaurants there. And there's nice hotels and nice restaurants in many places in Thailand. But Pak Chong has some really, really great places. But the weather is generally quite a bit cooler and more comfortable, like very noticeably. It might be, as far as I know, it might be the best weather in all Thailand in terms of if you really just need to avoid the heat. Where I'm at, the humidity is moderate. I'm going to attempt to walk a little. I'll close this gate though. The dogs from last night are still out. I just don't want any stealing my sneakers or making a problem around the yard. I've made good use of this time versus sitting around warming a bar stool all day. Regular viewers know I've been really on my physical therapy, working out, hitting the gym as much as I can. There was about a 6-month stretch there. Couldn't even go to the gym once. Couldn't do it. I was just in too much pain to move. Somehow I got through that. I think the acupuncture was the big thing that helped pull me out. Anyway, so what the heck am I doing? So that's me, and that's what I'm doing here, okay? But, so with the channel, how that relates is I try to achieve a couple of things. One, I found that there are some Thai cultural aspects that are fairly important, they're really important, that could drastically affect a guy's retirement, and in fact, drastically affect the retirement of probably the majority of guys that come here, that are fairly little known. And I talk up the different kinds of wives you can have here and the different kinds of wives other people can have here. And you want to make sure there's no overlap, that you're not dating somebody else's wife, which with or without their knowledge isn't a good thing. Usually that's with. For a foreign guy, that's probably almost always the other guy knows you just don't know them. Anyways, enough about that. I try to share some of the hidden cultural stuff respectfully. I don't have any problem with anybody, nothing like that. And then I try to give some updates on my progress. So a guy who is also in his 60s or thereabouts, older, whatever, might be looking to improve his physicality, might be looking to improve his finances, might be looking to use this as a place to kind of bootstrap himself up again after a divorce or a second divorce or whatever the heck, or a forced retirement, whatever happens, right? I want to show my personal progress with that. And then I guess the third thing is I like to give a little cultural flavor, lifestyle, that's it, lifestyle flavor. That my shoes might be similar to the ones you might be stepping into a little bit. If you're going to come here in Thailand as a Westerner, to some degree or another, you're going to be some kind of similar position that I am. Not unless your age is drastically different, or if you maybe speak at a fluent level, which is incredibly rare. Yeah, you get some of those young guys that speak really well, and they do engage a little differently than we do, but that's a rare bird and a whole different kettle of fish. I don't know what to say. And just walking by my wall again, still waiting on the rainy season to really get going. And here, I'll show you just do a little morning. I do this every once in a while to kind of check how everything's coming along, you know. And there's the angle of the sun this morning, coming right. I guess the season's changing because it normally doesn't come up over there. It comes up on those trees there, and then now it's way back that way. So I guess we're getting into the summer more. You know, whatever. I don't know. The seasons are all, I don't understand it. Whatever. Anyway, so but this is all just kind of working out pretty good. Kunpa is busy right now doing his rice farming, which keeps the guy pretty busy, I guess. So when that settles down, he wants to come back. And you got those kicker supports back there. Yeah, you can just see those. He wants to clean those up and probably paint them. And I probably need to hire a small machine, earth moving machine, to just do a final grade. But I want to get through a rainy season with this. And say, I don't know what the heck's going to happen. Thai soil tends to percolate, absorb water quite well. But that's what I've seen. This likely, more likely than not, probably will. But if it doesn't, I have a drainage plan in my head that's a good drainage plan. I just got to execute whatever level, you know, DEFCON level I got to go up to make it work. No big deal. Other than that, so that's kind of like my project. And there's a good point. I find that having projects is helpful. You know, not that I can't relax, because I've really learned to relax, and I've gotten out of the mode of, when you're a serial small business entrepreneur, you're always like, hey, we could put a corner tea shop over here. We could, you know, I found some really nice supplements, and I talked to the company, the manufacturer, and they're like, yeah, well, you could be our rep for Thailand. We don't have any representation in Thailand. You know, and then it's like, and I was like, what the hell do I want to do that for? Why am I even pursuing or exploring this? So, you know, we let that go. And, you know, this channel, writing the book and kind of trying to do a little bit to promote the book, which all I really did was put that video up with Fawn a while back, and I put it on my videos there a little bit, and that all goes into directly into my son's bank account, which is awesome. And thank you for everyone who orders the book. Yeah, you're helping him, and that's great. I do think it is good information, you know, and I'm a pretty self-critical guy, as all engineers are, and I'm pretty happy with how it shook out. So yeah, so staying busy has helped me. Now I am entering a challenging new phase, and I'm just starting to see it, and so is Fawn, because I'm getting a little more mobile. I'm not spending so many days on bed rest and limited movement and all that. I'm able to move around a little more, and I've been making my motorcycle, adjusting the motorcycle to fit me and my physical limits. And right now the handlebars are being bent so they'll match the angle, a comfortable angle for my wrist, because my right wrist was probably fractured during my first black belt test. I had to punch through and break 4.5 inches of softwood or something like that. And yeah, man. Got the belt, but my hand still hurts, and it's been 20 years, so whatever. Anyhow, God, 20 years ago, that's crazy, huh? Anyhow, so I do find staying busy is better, and I am entering the second phase. So now I'm a little more mobile. The motorcycle is more comfortable to fit me. I'm getting around more. Fawn was really worried that I had a Mianoi or a geek in the city of Korat, and I don't. And I assured her that I don't. And then after a while, she sort of started to believe me, I guess, and she seemed comfortable. Yes, you know, at this age, I don't need that much trouble. It's just, you know, a lady like that, you know, a really sporty young lady is great and all, but it's just nothing but a bag of trouble. And I really like one of the many things I appreciate about Fawn is that she's a great care provider. I mean, she's like a private nurse, and some guys have pretty respectfully kind of made fun of me for that, and that's fair, because it's really kind of true, you know. Anyways, but so I'm kind of entering in that new phase, and I'm liking it. I'm liking it, you know. But now I got to figure out all over again what to do, a little bit, you know. And what's been working has been traveling to some different gyms, and I'm going to check out. I think I get some footage in here, some bonus footage that talks about that a little bit. I'll throw that in there, and So I'm just going to kind of that's a good word, reshuffle. I got to kind of reshuffle my retirement schedule a little bit, and I'm going to work on that. And then this year, Fawn asked me what my bigger goals were, and I do want to go down to Phuket and fly down. It's just convenient to fly. You don't have to drive and take the ferry and all that stuff. Just fly right in, and so we're going to do that. Fawn's younger sister lives in Bangkok. It's a short flight for her from Bangkok to there. Maybe she'd come and join us or something. Maybe I'd help with the cost a little bit or something, you know, like that. Today I've got Yui, Fawn's boys and Yui's boys, and Fawn's mom all going on vacation. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to push my back because I've got the flight coming up going home. I didn't want to push my back. So I just paid for them to go. And I said, can I just not go? I'll send you guys. You want to go? You go. And it's a cheap trip. It's a day trip. And it's like, I don't know, it's $100 or $150 for everybody. Or I'm not going to add it up. I don't care. But it was inconsequential. To them, it was a big deal. They were either going to go or not go, depending on if I could do it. But, you know, so. You don't want to do that all the time. I got to do a video on that. But if you start throwing money around like your baller status, it just becomes a habit for everyone around you. And sometimes I cringe a little bit how respectful Fawn's being with my money and gnashing her teeth over a very small amount of money. And I'm tempted to go, hey, it doesn't matter, let's just, and then I stop myself. Nothing against her, she's fantastic, and I want to keep it that way, you know? And a lot of guys come here and they get that 2-week millionaire thing going. And I try to manage myself carefully here, and then I allow myself to live here when I feel like it, you know? Does that sound weird? But that really works for me. I don't like being bled on a daily basis. I didn't like before, back in my life in the West, how I had about 10 grand a month cash after taxes, everything clear. I had to have every month to run everything I had going. And you know, I talked about that enough. But I mean, I didn't like that pressure on me, and I didn't like being on that hamster wheel like that. And so I'm living a little bit below my means more than I really need to or whatever, but I don't care. And I'll figure some stuff out in the future. I'll do more fun stuff in the future. Right now I'm cool, you know, and then, you know, just trying to get out of one level of rehab, trying to get to the next level. I'm just kind of hitting that. Like I said, I'm going to rehash my schedule, work in some new gyms. I'm kind of thinking about doing longer. Again, old man, respectful to my rehab, respectful to my physical limitations, but still longer, more thorough workouts, you know, relative to me. Not like what I used to do, none of that 2.5-hour gorilla stuff, 100-pound dumbbells. I'll never touch another 100-pound dumbbell probably as long as I live. That's probably never going to happen, and that's okay. You can see I miss it, but it's okay, you know? Anyway, so that's kind of, I think I just wanted to talk a little bit to my viewers, the long-term people and the newer people, and just thank you for watching my channel, and thanks for all the good comments. And I'm doing pretty well. I mean, there's always about 2 a-holes about every month I got to kick off. It's like clockwork. But considering I get 50,000 people a month watching my channel, is that crazy? 50,000 to kick off 2 people, that's nothing. So I've gotten pretty impatient with that. When someone just starts with the ridiculousness, I just tend to ban them pretty quick. I used to give them like 3 strikes, and I'd take their comments down, and some people take the hint, most didn't, and they come back like they're sneaking around me. I have a full transparent dashboard that shows every comment and who made it and where I mean what video it's a part of. They cannot sneak around me. I don't know what they're thinking. And why would someone think to do that? I would never go on, you know, I used to watch Moto Jitsu's channel a lot when I was refreshing my motorcycling skills. I would have never thought to go on his channel and try and sneak around him and make ugly comments about him and how his bike sucked or something, or I could ride a motorcycle better than him, which would not be true, which would not be a true statement, by the way. You know, whatever. I would never occur to me to do that, yet people want to do that with me, and I've just learned to just ban. And I don't want the headache. There's a divorce joke in there somewhere, but I'm not going to make it. But I just don't want the headache, okay? All right. But thanks. But it's all positive. It's all great. I got very little of that to deal with. This is very nice and positive. And I feel good. I know I'm helping people, because as much as you might see the occasional comment, I get more of that in direct messages private to me. from people really telling me just thank you, how much they appreciate that the channel's helped them. And it's in the description now on some of the videos, but Fawn and I are available for a consultation. If you're in a social spot, dating spot, tricky spot, whatever, you can do a live 1-hour chat with Fawn and I. And I think it's $75 US. And you know, she and I will go through it. Mostly me translating a little bit, and you want a Thai woman to really look at some stuff, and you get that irrefutable 100% Thai female perspective. You just can't beat that, and Fawn's willing to share that, so it's kind of nice. That's it. All right, have fun. Thanks. Pretty darn cute. Hate to be a freaking stereotype, but I'm just going to the monkey bar. They have shockingly good food, and it's just consistently good. Yeah, but a little breakfast quietly. A little street, can't really call it a cafe, it's a plywood box, I think. But by the river here in downtown Monsoon. Nice. She knows the way I like my toast with jelly on it, Yen Li. So, just sitting here at the U-turn waiting for traffic to clear. Pretty heavy this morning. I think I was, well, I'm fairly certain I was illegally or not properly parked. I just dropped off Khun Pa and Khun Ma to pick up Khun Pa's truck from a minor traffic accident. There was a police officer around the front looking at some cars, and I think he was a little curious about mine. I wasn't like parking like a complete a-hole or anything. I was less in the road than other people, but whatever, long story, I'll spare you. But once the shop manager inquired as to who I was, and I told him I was I said Pom Bai Song Khun Pa Khun Ma Bai Geprot, and he goes, oh, okay. Once he saw that I was taking somebody's mom and dad, presumably my Thai wife, you know, that kind of thing, then I was bowing and speaking politely and whatever and all that. Yeah, all of it just kind of went away, and it was like, oh, okay, and that was kind of nice. I went to the Mr. DIY and bought a windshield wiper blade. I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel for content today, folks. That's an old joke from the Ghoul. He was a late night Detroit B-movie horror monster movie host. Did the Godzilla movies and stuff. Love that guy. On my way home, and I wanted to hit the pharmacy. There's a really good pharmacy with a good doctor at this one of these 7-Eleven PTT station stops. So I grabbed the wrong one. They all look alike to me. Anyways, but I got 2 curly pies. These are awesome. So heading home. I had gym open later than I thought today. There's Fawn switching loads. The last load at the laundromat, and then she's going to drop me off. Actually, she's going to take me to the gym and I think wait for me. So, was planning on doing kind of a big arm workout today, but honestly, it might make more sense physically too to do kind of like a light arm day. And I don't have a lot of time because I got a doctor's appointment at noon, so I'm getting pushed here a little bit. But I think I'll just do a light day. Got to adjust on the fly when you're in Thailand, and maybe I'll try and squeak in a second arm day like 5 days later. You kind of do two arm days the same week. Sometimes that's kind of effective, and if one of them's light enough, I can get away with that, and that's fun for me to do. So, do plan. My name is Rob, and thank you for supporting my YouTube channel. I meant every word I just said with respect.